WWRR, Scranton, Wilkes-Barre, WMMZ, Berwick, Bloomsburg, Hazleton, WYCK, Plains.
Powered by Mohegan Sun Poano.
The River, 105 and 103.5.
This is Music on the Menu on the River.
Timothy, where on earth did you go?
Featuring Northeast PA's best artists.
Maybe, never mind. She can move me like the stereo, like a song on the radio. She's an angel in the morning, yeah, that's right.
And now, here's your host, Alan K. Stout.
So I got that going for me, which is nice.
All right, everybody. Happy Sunday night. Welcome to Music on the Menu on the River. Alan K. Stout, as I always am, Sunday nights, 9 to 10 o'clock, bringing your regional artists doing their own original material from right here in northeastern Pennsylvania. DC Taylor is here tonight, but he is mic-less because we have guests in the studio. So, DC, give a shout out here so they know you're here.
Hi, I'm here.
All right. Dan's here. I haven't seen him in a while because we did a little pre-recording for the holidays, but it's good to see you again, my friend.
Too.
And we have guests here in the studio. Tori V is here. She is an up-and-coming artist who is about to release her first EP. Tori, welcome.
Hi, Alan. It's great to be here.
Great to see you. And I've known Tori for a little while. I met her down at the Tony's Wine Cellar Open Mic Jam. We're going to talk about that a little bit, but before we do that, I want to introduce the other people that are here with you as well. Ronnie Williams is here.
Thank you, Alan.
And John Young is here.
Hello, Alan.
And both John and Ronnie produced your album.
Yes.
Okay. And so we're going to talk about all of that during the show. And we're going to talk to Ronnie and John as well. We'll bring everybody into the program. But to get things rolling, Tori, I was just telling the, off the air, I was telling John and Ronnie before we got on here. I saw you, I guess it was 2 years ago at Tony's Wine Cellar. It was an open mic jam. I was hanging out there. And I was just there this week again. You know, I enjoyed it there.
Yeah.
And you were on stage, and you were by yourself, and you played Stairway to Heaven and Hotel California.
I don't know how you remember that.
Well, because it was impressive, because they are difficult songs. They are long songs. There's a lot of lyrics there. There's a lot of playing there. Your age, you know, how old are you now?
I just turned 18 in the summer.
Okay, so you're 18 years old. And you were able to, you know, play these songs in a live setting, songs that were, you know, recorded, 35, 40 years before you were born.
Right.
If not longer. Stairway would be longer than that, obviously. And I was impressed, you know, and I remember talking to you that night and saying, hey, if you ever do anything with your original music, you know, stay in touch. And we have, and voila, here we are tonight. So give us a little background of you as an artist. Where are you from? What town?
So I grew up in West Pittston.
Okay.
And I still live there currently.
Okay.
I started playing, I think I always kind of loved to sing and play guitar, you know, from a young age, from probably, 10. And then I got serious about it when I was 12. I taught myself how to play guitar. And then I think by the age of 15, I started playing out in bars. So I had a regular schedule of shows coming in, and just I loved playing classic rock. And then I started to eventually throw my original stuff in there, which I guess kind of leads me to where I'm at now with the whole CD coming out, and it's exciting.
How old were you when you started writing?
I think I always tried to write. I think there were high periods where I'd like to, try different things, and then I got discouraged. So I don't know. Like I said, I think probably 12. I would say.
Wow.
12 was kind of when I kind of took a really big interest into the whole music career thing.
But what we're going to do tonight is we're going to play all the songs off the new EP. And mix them in with some other artists from Northeast PA like we always do on Sunday night. And we'll be talking about your CD release party as well, which is coming up Saturday night at the Woodlands. So
Yes, December 14th.
December 14th, this Saturday night at the Woodlands. But let's get to some music here. Brand new music from Tori V. This one's called Rebel.
Now I've never been one to do what's right. You gotta do what helps you sleep at night. And every now and then I've tried to change. No, I'm an outlaw. Now I walk alone, and all the things I do seem to follow me home. And I've made my fate. Every situation seems to leave me out of breath. I like to break the rules, but now I'm running for myself. Didn't know what to expect, I guess that I could use some help. There's only one thing I'm good for. I'm a rebel, up all night, I'm a rebel. Help me say I'm a rebel. Ooh, I'm a rebel. I'm a rebel. Tell me once I'm a rebel. Tell me twice I'm a rebel. Ooh, and I'm a rebel. Hey, everyone's all the same with only different names, and I love to hate. I gotta have you. You already know it's better than seeing you all on my own in a crowded room where everybody knows you. There's a few years between us, but I guess you couldn't leave it. Take it good, take me on your way. Don't need to waste my time, 'cause I've already got what's mine. The devil should be on his way. I'm a rebel, up all night, I'm a rebel. I'm inside, I'm a rebel. Ooh, I'm a rebel. I'm a rebel. Tell me once I'm a rebel. Tell me twice I'm a rebel. Ooh, if the devil needs a rebel, I'm the one that he calls. Tell me once I'm a rebel. Kill me twice, I'm a rebel. I'm a rebel. I'm a rebel. Up all night, I'm a rebel. I'm inside, I'm a rebel. And I'm a rebel. And I'm a rebel. Tell me once I'm a rebel. Kill me twice, I'm a rebel. If a rebel needs a devil, I'm the one that he calls.
Luther's windows littered with nothing, a crystal, a picture, a dead potted sage, a dusty white curtain, the nose prints of a dog, a shot glass collection from his drug driving days. Luther's bedroom inside has an oven with fare that's a stare with old forgotten bread, and a cage on the dresser, there's a parrot that talks, but her name over and over is all it says. Turn your back to the sun, you see only the shadows. Look beneath the stars, you see only night. Like a homesick sailor, Luther standing in the window, watching the world floating by him tonight. Luther's hands once held a chain with the keys to a home in a blue Chevrolet. Now he lives with his mother, steals all liquor, chain smokes and stares at the ceiling for days. Turn your back to the sun, you see only shadows. Look beneath the stars, you see only night. Like a homesick sailor, Luther standing in the window, watching the world floating by him tonight. down, but his eyes are open wide. I'm a one-man revival with an electronic Bible, listening to the parade going by. And the bass drum is pounding, the trumpets are bleeding. He's reading a verse of St. John. Trickle line seeps through the blind. Luther pulls down the shade until he makes up his mind. We'll turn your back to the sun. You see only shadows. Look beneath the stars. You see only night. Like a homesick sailor, Luther standing in the window, watching the world floating by him tonight. It's floating by him tonight. It's floating by him tonight. It's floating by him tonight.
Badley's here on Music on the Menu on the River, a song called Luther's Windows. And before that, Tori V with a brand new track called Rebel from her self-titled EP coming out this week, and a CD release party happening on Saturday at the Woodlands. We usually close the show with the Badleys, but since Tori's here, we're going to close the show with one of your tunes a little bit later on. Now, we've got John and Ronnie here. They didn't talk during the first segment because I wanted to get some background on you. John's well known in the community here in Northeast PA. He's been drumming with some good projects for a long time now. And Ronnie, of course, was with quite a few well-known bands in the area. And you put out an original album about 10 years ago,
Yep, in May.
which John drummed on,
Yep.
right? And so when Ronnie reached out and said, "Would you like to have Tori on the show?" a week or so ago, well, first of all, I told you I was familiar with her, that I'd seen her at the Wine Cellar, and that we'd like to have her on. But then I wanted to say, well, how did you get involved? So tell us, John and Ronnie, how did you wind up producing this record? You've got a new studio, right?
Well, yeah. How it all started was I was going down to Tony's Wine Cellar for a while just to hang out. You got to love the food down there too, and that's when I met Tori. Of course, you go down to Tony's Wine Cellar. You have the regulars down there playing the Brett and Eddie and stuff, and all great people. And it's always a fun atmosphere. But I saw something in Tori. I'm like, I'm seeing something there. That's pretty good. So I started talking with her, and then it turns out that Tori's mother already knew who I was from other businesses that I have together in the mortgage industry and stuff. So I just saw potential. I mean, back in the day,
were you already working on your studio at the time?
Yeah, it was already just starting to come together. I was already starting.
What's
to
the
put
name
it
of the
together.
studio, John?
Well, the name of the record label we put together is Elite Audio Records.
Okay.
So at the time,
This is in Kingston, right?
Well, it is now, but
Okay.
it originally started in Laughlin at my other house.
Okay.
But I
And
just
Ronnie-
bought a new house in Kingston.
That's right. Ronnie had told me that the other day.
Yeah. So I just saw so much in Tori. Back in the day, I auditioned for Jim Hakem when I was 17 years old. And he wanted me, but he wouldn't take me on the road till I was 18.
Okay.
So I saw so much of her, of the potential. And I said, so I started working with her, had her just come down to the studio and just play acoustic by herself and sing, and just to get a feel of things. And Tori was kind of my person, like, Tori, I want to try this with you. Let me put the mic here. Let me see how this sounds. You know what I mean? And we had a really good time doing it, experimenting, getting to know things. And then, here comes Ronnie Williams.
And how did that happen?
Well, he came back from Florida.
Right.
Well, it was ironic because John had asked me if I'd perform at his wedding reception, but it was after he got married. He had a party at his house, and I had showed up, and he said, "Can you play bass for this Tori girl? I think you're going to like her stuff." And I said, "Well, send me the material. I'll learn it." So I had like 3 days to learn this stuff, and I learned the songs, went up and played with her. I thought, and I never heard her play before. We didn't even rehearse.
Okay.
So
this was in the studio.
no, this is in a live party. It was an
Yeah.
event.
Oh, at the wedding reception.
I got married in Aruba, and then a week after we got married in Aruba, we came back and we just threw a big party at my house.
Okay.
Yeah. So I came up from Florida.
And you
to
wanted,
celebrate-
and Tori was going to perform at the party, and you wanted Ronnie to play bass.
Yeah, so
Got it.
he sent me the songs, and
I thought you meant on the recordings at the studio.
No.
Okay.
Well, I did play on the recordings as well.
Okay.
But before all of that, so in September of last year, I had met Tori for the first time. And when I saw her, I thought, man, she's me. She is a female version of me when I was 17 years old. Because, I mean, if you look back when I was working with Pete Scavone, Pete St. James and other people would know him, from Stonebridge, Riverside, my brother PJ, they had called me to play when I was 17 years old. And I looked at her and I thought to myself, all of the experiences that I've had in my life, I could really help her with her career. If I can sit down with her, her material was good. I said, but we could make it better, and you're familiar with my material. So you could probably hear a little bit of my influence in her stuff. But you know what? When we started writing together, it came together so well that we really started pushing the studio. And John said, well, why don't you stay here for a little while and we could work with her and finish this EP. So I stayed here I left in September. I came back January. My son left for the Army January 7th. And I just decided to stay. I said, you know what? I'm going to stay here for a little while. Let's see what we can accomplish with this studio and this CD.
So I locked him in my basement.
He really did.
Learn it all, do it now.
He really did. So I learned how to
awesome.
use, I had spent some time away in 2017. I learned Pro Tools and stuff like that. But I come back, and it was ironic that here I am now faced with this studio that I'm able to sit down and utilize the information that I learned while I was away to come back in, and now I could just sit down and we could record.
It all came together.
It just felt right, Alan. It was type of a thing that, like, I know what Ronnie's capable of. See, me and Ronnie have been friends for
30 years.
Oh, yeah. And even back in the days when he was still in high school and I was still in high school and he had his, and I was even doing the Watership Down thing back then, we just know each other so well. So I said, Ronnie, this would be perfect for you. Look what I need you to help me with to take this to the next level. And because of me bringing Ronnie in, it enabled me to bring this studio and the whole record label to the next project and the next step. And it was just wonderful how it came about because I wasn't expecting it to go like this, but I couldn't be more happier the way it is.
It all came together.
Yeah.
We're going to talk more about the music side of it after we get to some music. I'm going to premiere another track here. This is an artist named Christian Gratz. He's from Lackawanna County area. We've been playing his stuff on the show for a while, and also his stuff with his duo, The Frost. He has a brand new record coming out in January. It's called 1979. And Christian was kind enough to give us a couple of tracks. We're going to play two of them for you tonight here on the show as well. So you're getting a lot of new music here tonight. New music from Christian. This one's called Dark Lady.
She's all aglow, keeps on keeping on behind that boom. I see you, I hear your call, but you know, dark lady, no one knows you think they're shady and come. Someone makes you cry.
Christian Gratz here on Music on the Menu on the River. Brand new stuff from Christian from his forthcoming album, 1979. I gave that stuff a listen this week, and some of it has like this cool Michael McDonald era Doobie Brothers vibe to it. Some of it kind of reminds me of like Randy Newman. It's and you know, it's appropriately called 1979 because that's who, you know, artists that were really happening at that time. So, you know, he really hit the nail on the head there with that stuff. We're looking forward to hearing more from Christian in the coming weeks. Getting back to our guest tonight, Tori V hanging out with us with John and Ronnie. Ronnie and John just talked to us before that about how they got involved with the project. Tori, in the opening segment, you talked a little bit about music and you know, where you're from and when you start playing. Who were some of your influences as a musician growing up? And it's fun for me to ask that to somebody who's 18 years old.
I think you'll be surprised, actually. So I think it started out with just like Ed Sheeran and stuff that I heard on modern radio. You know, Ed Sheeran kind of inspired me to play guitar and be a songwriter, I think. And then as I kind of got older,
I still think of him as the new guy. Yeah, right? Don't you?
Yeah. And then as I got older, I started to listen to more, you know, classic rock stuff. I started to listen to, you know, 80s hair metal and stuff like that. So then I, you know, after I branched out, I think I definitely like Melissa Etheridge is a big one.
Oh, yeah.
Believe it or not, Prince.
Sure.
I like Prince. Huge Prince fan. Led Zeppelin fan. And those are probably like my top like 3 or 4, I would say.
Well, that's a pretty eclectic list of influences and pretty impressive for someone Tori's age. Let's play a new one from Tori right here. This one's called Tell Me.
We don't have much time to change who we are. We're so far apart. When love slips away, forget how to wait. A brand new start. And I can see it in your eyes, you're not alone. And I will always bring you home. Share all of your secrets. Tell me everything I want to know. 'Cause this life is too damn short to be old and holding on to nothing. I want to make a difference. Another chance to fall in love again. Never want to do another thing that has no end again. So hole in your heart tears you away from who you are. Forget this pain you feel. Give you love
Yesterday was the day that I finally wake up, see that everything you said was never true. Here I am, a broken man, guess it wasn't enough. My love must never have meant anything to you. Was I wrong? Thinking back on the past, read a part of your view. Should have seen the signs and lies we've too true. You can't go back, face the facts. There's no chance it will last. Wasted many nights just crying over you. Now you're gone. Now you're gone. Out of sight, out of mind. You know that I'll be alright. You hit my heart out for the last time. But now I'm strong, I'll be okay. Tomorrow's just another day. And with these words of you, I truly must conclude that I'm better off without you. Without you.
Ronnie Williams here on Music on the Menu on the River with a song called Better Off with John Young on drums on that one. And before that, Tori V, brand new track from her forthcoming EP. Should I say forthcoming? I mean, it's when the party's Saturday, but when can people get it online and all that?
I think the 14th. I think it's the same day.
14th, so forthcoming.
Yeah. Yes.
6 days away.
Mm-hmm.
So, and John and Ronnie playing on that one as well and produced it. When you took these songs, Tori, that you obviously probably wrote most of them yourself on an acoustic guitar.
Yes.
To these guys in the studio, and you're doing that for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
How'd that go? You know, how did you find that experience from? You know, we were talking about Rebel, like that song reminds you, like, it's a rockin' Pink song,
right?
You know,
right.
John said it kind of had reminded him of Joan Jett. Mm-hmm. You know, and yet you wrote them in the way most people write songs,
right?
You know, and then it becomes boom. You know,
yeah.
How did that go? How did you like that process?
No, it was really cool because obviously I'd never done that before. I've never really worked with anybody else, you know. So I always just kind of wrote songs in my bedroom. So it was definitely really cool, to, like, especially just getting other people's ideas. I think for the most part, like to bring a song in, and it's funny that you say Rebel because that was like the song that we kind of debated the most. It's like, you know, what do we think of this? You know, it's cool, it's upbeat, it's fun. So yeah, no, it was definitely quite a new experience for me. It was cool. I definitely enjoyed working with them. Definitely.
When you listen to it now, and you probably have that memory of, wow, I wrote that song up in my room, you know, 6 months or a year ago, whatever it may have been, and now it's got the drums and the bass and the big production on it.
Yeah. Does
it still resonate with you as a work of art of how you originally envisioned it? You know, I mean, do you like it? Do you this is the way it usually goes, unless you want to stay that way and just record acoustic this is how it goes in the studio with a band.
Sometimes,
These guys are basically your band.
Right, yeah, they are, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no, sometimes it goes a different way than I expect it to, and it ends up turning into something better than what I had planned. You know what I mean? I think that's just kind of how it works. But yeah, no, that song, I wrote it on an acoustic guitar, believe it or not, so it changed, tremendously.
Sure.
So obviously for the better, I'd say, it's a cool song, in my opinion.
I mean, as you grow as an artist and as you continue to record, you're probably gonna there are gonna be songs where you're gonna be like, no, this one's got to stay this way, or hey, this one I want it to be bigger, and as you evolve now, you're becoming more familiar with that whole process.
Yeah, it's definitely a process.
It's pretty cool.
Definitely, yeah.
Pretty cool. We'll play a new one for you now from Christian Grimes. We played a song called Dark Lady earlier in the program. This is from his forthcoming record, 1979. It's called Dancing Shoes.
Becky's going out tonight. She had enough of crying. Girl, it's me. Come on down, meet me tonight. Put on your favorite dancing shoes. Treats him right, He's been fooling around, and she don't know. Girl, it's me. Come on down and meet me tonight. Put on your favorite dancing shoes. ship from sinking. You're the captain of your helm. Gotta set your bearings straighter to a much better realm. The time is getting closer for you to take control, to conquer all the masses and fight with all your soul. Gotta fight another day. You gotta live to fight another day. You gotta live, live to fight another day. You gotta live, live to fight, fight another day. You gotta live to fight another day. Live to fight another day. You gotta live, 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 live to fight another day. You gotta live to fight, live to fight another day. You gotta live, live to fight another day. Live to fight another day. You gotta live, live to fight another day.
Babo Hero Music on the Menu on the River with a song called Fight Another Day. Before that, brand new music from Christian Gratz, a song called Dancing Shoes. That Space song is also new. We just premiered that one a week or two ago. Had a chance a couple nights ago to hang out up at Sound Investment Studio with my friend Tom Borswick. I was up there. He was printing some CD labels for me, and we just got hanging out and talking about music. Some great stuff coming out of SI as well. I'd like to give all the studios shout outs that are doing great work around here. And, you know, we're going to be getting, we're going to bring Tom in after Christmas, and he's going to talk about some of the stuff he's got going on at his studio in Old Forge. Spey, Tom sings backing vocals on that song from Speybo. And that Christian Grant's record, like I said, that'll be coming out in January. It's called 1979. We're hanging out here with Tori V. We're talking about her new record. We've talked about her music. We talked about how she got, you know, connected with Ronnie Williams and John Young, recording the music at the new studio. See album coming out on Saturday. One thing I didn't ask you, and I always love to ask this to songwriters, Tori, is what inspires you to write?
You know
What's your muse in this world?
It's funny because I've tried to develop some kind of formula to this, but it seems like I always write my best stuff when I'm mad.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, if I get mad about something, like, and I'll sit on it for a little bit, and then, like, I don't know, I usually end up picking up my guitar, and then I write this song in, like, 10 minutes.
I've been doing this for 27 years. No one has ever said that to me. Most of them people say they write better when they're sad.
No, no,
that's
because
where all
normally
those love songs come from.
no, because the love songs, they turn out
that's
really
what Ronnie
bad
does,
for me.
right?
I'm always sad. She's always mad. Go figure.
I don't know. I feel like if I write when I'm sad, I don't know. They don't turn out as good. They're really sappy and just not.
I'm gonna have to say,
Never
a female
stops anybody
teenager
else.
who's mad. I never heard of that.
Never stopped Ronnie. Never stopped me.
I don't know.
I've read sappy ones.
different, I guess. I don't
That's
know.
okay.
I'm weird.
So that's a great answer though. So you use it to harness that and channel that, and
yeah.
you do have some pink in you.
I
See what I'm saying?
I don't want to make it seem like I'm aggressive or anything.
Still a rock star, right? Is that always?
No, I don't
You do
know.
any covers? I want to see you cover that fight song from Pink. You probably nailed that.
Yeah.
Going to do another premiere for you now tonight. This one's from The Mange. Brand new song just came our way right before Thanksgiving, and this is our first chance we've had a chance to get it on for you. This one's called Under My Skin.
It just sort of happened, yeah. Well, it's sort of attraction. Yeah, it's such a distraction. Light rays refracting. It's got me overreacting, yeah. Well, I can't seem to shake it. Oh, man, I can't take it. Well, I can't go without it. No doubt about it, no. It's more like I need it. When I go home, not to feed it. Came on all of a sudden. I'm feeling rushed and bloody, yeah. Under my skin, yeah, into my veins. Feels like a sin, oh man, it's a shame. All of my soul, now I can't let it go. Yeah, it's under my skin. Ooh, under my skin, yeah. Feels in the hole. Oh, like nothing else will. Every day to go is to get my fill, yeah. The one thing I love, only thing that I need. Yeah, push me to shove. Ooh, to get it, I bleed, bleed. Under my skin, yeah, into my veins. Feels like a sin, oh man, it's a shame. All of my soul, now I can't let it go. Yeah, it's under my skin. Oh, under my skin, baby. I can't get enough. But I need more of that stuff, yeah. I know it's hard living with regret, but what would life be without learning from the past? And who do you run to when no one's on your side? Who do you turn to at the loneliest of times? Remember that I'm always here for you. And no, there's nothing I wouldn't do, 'cause you'll never be lonely. You'll never have to cry another tear. You'll never have to fake another smile. As long as I'm here with every single moment, with every wish that you make, I'll carry you across the deepest ocean. Whatever it takes, I'll do. So don't be afraid. I'll never leave your side. Promise to cherish you each moment of our lives. I'll take you away from all this pain you feel. Give you love you know is real. Make every dream you have come to life. When everyone has turned their back smile. Just know that I'm here with this moment. Every wish that you make, carry you across the deepest ocean. Whatever it takes, I'll do. Whatever it takes, baby, that's what I'll do. It's gonna be lonely as long as I'm with you.
I have been faced with the lessons I've learned of falling down. I never thought with the way things change, it'd bring me around. The more I run away, the less there's to explain. I said I'd figure it out. You said you wanted more. I'm heading out the door. The less you know, I'll be better off now. Feels like I'm out in the open with no one else around. Every high has been broken, and I think I'm coming down. Bruises I felt on my hands and knees remind me now. There is no place of eternity. It's turn around. The more I run away, the less there's to explain. I said I'd figure it out. Nothing will stay the same. I'll get up and walk away. Why don't you look at me now? Feels like I'm out in the open with no one else around. Every high has been broken, and I think I'm coming Feels like I'm out in the open with no one else around. Every high has been broken, and I think I'm coming down. Every high has been broken, and I think I'm coming down.
Tori V here on Music on the Menu on the River with a song called The Fall. Before that, Ronnie Williams with a song called As Long As I'm Here. And before that, The Mange with a song called Under My Skin. Brand new tune from The Mange. We've been hanging out here with Tori for the entire hour, as well as with John and Ronnie, talking about the new record, self-titled Tori V, coming out on Saturday with a big CD release party at the Woodlands. And, you know, talking about some of the guys here, John and Ronnie, with you, folks out there who are familiar with the scene, you know, they know you from the bands that you've played in over the years. We mentioned some of them earlier, Flaxy Morgan, Midnight Rain, some of the
Bad Hair Day.
Bad Hair Day for a long time. That's right. And John, you've now put together a terrific Bon Jovi tribute band.
Yeah, 70 Fahrenheit. We just did the party on the patio at the casino. We closed it out for the whole
closed
year.
out the season,
Yeah,
and
I have great players. Jason Santos is in that. JRL. Ronnie's in it with me.
Ronnie's in that band as well. So you can see these guys playing all around town. Occasionally. I know it's a rare. It's not like you're out there every weekend with that band.
No, definitely not.
But you've done some shows at the Jazz Cafe and here at the pad and here at the casino as well. So keep your eyes out on what they're doing as well as the work they're doing with Tori. Tori, where can people get this music, find this music? Your website? Are you going to be on iTunes and Spotify and all that stuff? Or is that up and ready to go yet?
As of the 14th, I believe, it goes up on Spotify and iTunes, all the major music streaming apps, yeah.
And tell us a little bit about this show at the Woodlands. All that we said was that it was Saturday, but what time? It's in the ballroom? Or is it in the Streamside Bandstand?
So it's going to be Streamside.
Okay.
It's also going to be a Toys for Tots.
Nice.
Event. See, you know me with charities. I've always done a lot with local charities and stuff like that. And this year, because I've worked with Toys for Tots before, I said this would be a perfect opportunity to reach out and use this as an opportunity to make an impact, get some more toys and stuff like that. For a charitable event. I thought this was a good one to do.
So what time's it happening at the Woods?
7 to 9.
Yeah.
7 to 9 at the Woodlands. Bring a toy. In the Toys for Tots, we'll have when the Marines will have one of their bins there. You can just drop the toy right in, and they'll come and take it.
So actually, what we're going to do is the first 10 people to bring a new unwrapped toy get a free signed CD.
Terrific.
Yes.
All right, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Okay, 7 to 9 at the Woodlands Streamside Bandstand, also at Toys for Tots. And you guys playing live on stage with Tori?
Yes.
Anybody else in the band?
Pat Flynn, yes.
Oh, all right, Mr. Patrick Flynn on guitar.
Absolutely.
He's famous.
You got a good band, Tori.
I've been told that.
Well, congratulations on the release of the record. We wish you all the best. We'll be playing it a long time after just tonight, but it was fun to get the whole thing on the radio for you tonight. Ronnie and John, thank you for coming in as well. It's good to see you guys. Wish you all a Merry Christmas and hope you have a great event at the Woodlands on Saturday night. We'll leave you now with another one from Tori. This one's called Change Is Gonna Come. Catch you next week.
Open up your mind and try it one more time before our time starts running out. This is only our beginning. I know a change is gonna come. Not still time, but I keep on waiting. Lately you think I'm going crazy, but you know you ain't never felt like this before. Maybe this life is all for nothing, who knows? But I'd rather take my chance. Whoa. You will never understand me. I'm ahead of your time. Reassess and find the things